call it the big time. She's got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you, I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you have. Don't miss, just make, don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. Thin our blood. You're one of us. You're one of us. There's strength in our blood. You're one of us. You're one of us. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. You will remember our names. You will remember our names.
Emerson toward left field. And Grady, Emerson sees it fly over the wall. Their last two district games. Swing and a miss. Smeds goes upstairs for the strikeout. They're all two strikeouts. And Grady gets a hold of this toward right field. It continues to fly. Replay here. Cardi aggressive. Didn't really get a hold of it, but it falls in a right spot. And Cardi able to run into second. To the pitch. In there for strike three. Blistering mark in district play. 5-4. Greg Smeds, big back-to-back punch-outs. Jake Parkerson, that ball's flying. He gives the Cardinals the lead. Jake Parkerson with home runs in back-to-back games, and it's a 3-2 score in the bottom of the fifth. 10 of his last 11 games, and has another one here. A single to right brings home Blaine McDonald. Braylen James pulls this one down the line and right, and one run comes across the score. And also, here comes Carney, a third, and Emerson being waved home, and James digging. Emerson rips it up the middle. Griffin Carney is going to be sent home. And Grady Emerson, indeed. That had the go-ahead RBI yesterday. And Emerson lifts this one towards left field. Going back on it, it continues to carry, and it's gone. 7 strikeouts. ERA above 3. And that's a hit by Carney. His second of the inning. It'll score Jacob Ward. We'll get a head start. But it's a swing and a miss. Parkerson lifts one to right. That'll score Braylen James. And Smeds with another strikeout. It's a full count. Runners are off. Parkerson has his second hit of the night. Series Purdue gets a hold of this out to left field. It continues to fly. And Jackson Purdue, he hits a bomb. And that concludes us. Jackson Purdue in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 2-run shot. And he comes through in a big way. He had a double on Tuesday night and hits his first home run of the year in walk-off fashion for the Cardinals. And he'll reach a third time and extend the Cardinals' lead in the process. Castleberry coming across, Parkerson as well. Griffin Carney rips this to right, and that will do it. Fort Worth Christian wins it 3-2 on a walk-off single by Griffin Carney. He'll certainly be our player of the game tonight as he wins it for the Cardinals here in extra innings.
Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio begins now.
Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio. The Fort Worth Christian Cardinals win it 11-1 over the Regents School of Austin. Cardinals beating the Knights 11-1 the final in game number 1 of this TAPPS playoff matchup as both teams begin the postseason, and the Cardinals begin it with a bang. 11-1 the final. They score 6 in the bottom of the 6th, end it just after 6 innings. 11 runs, 10 hits, a couple home runs. He's Jeff Knipper. I'm Will Connerly. Cardinals with a chance to punch a ticket to the regional round if they can win the second of this doubleheader. Take another glance at the district standings. Cardinals picking up their 30th victory of the year in the first of this doubleheader. They were the district champs, finishing first in the league outright, a 10-2 league record. But an 11-1 win in game number 1. Another glance at the playoff bracket. We got Cale Brateris pitching today. And we've got the playoff bracket set up right there.
Will, I got a question for you. Assuming the Cardinals take care of business, whether it be here in Game 2 or Game 3, and advance to that area round, you said it was likely they would play Southwest Christian?
Well, yes. So, and just as of a note, so by-district round's the opening round, but Cardinals didn't play in that. This is the area round. I know it's the graphic says there, but either way, regional round and then semifinal. So any way you slice it, yes, it would be the winner of Southwest Christian or the Brook Hill School in Bullard, who they host Southwest Christian tomorrow. So the winner of that will take on the winner of this series at a neutral site in what is considered to be the regional round early next week.
Okay.
So there we go as we look at the playoff path and we look at another glance of the matchup. If you weren't with us in game number 1, we talked about 2 offenses that can do great things. Well, it was the Knights who were held to 1 hit in game number 1. The Cardinals had 10 of them, scoring 11 runs, and right on course for what they've done all year. A lot of double-digit run scoring games, and you had the number for us. They've done it a lot as of late as well.
Yeah, 10 of the last 13 now the Cardinals have hit double digits. Just on that last slide, we saw the Game 2 starter for the Cardinals, Brateris, and I haven't seen much of Brateris pitch. One thing I noticed in his stat line there, he's thrown 32 innings with 18 strikeouts. So not quite the strikeout numbers that we saw from Smeds. So tell me a little bit more about Brateris because, Will, you've had more looks at him.
Yes, so Brateris is a guy that he entered into the starting rotation a couple of weeks into district play, took that spot of David Salas, and he'll give you some solid action, doesn't provide probably as much length as a Greg Smeds. He's gone 4 or fewer innings in each of his last 4 starts, so you probably are going to need some action out of the bullpen. His longest outing this year is when he went 4 2/3 against Southwest Christian, which was an impressive outing for him. He did that in relief, but he's gone 3 or 4 or less in each of his last 4 starts. But a little bit about him, I mean, he's 5-0 on the year when you look at the numbers, so he has had success pitching in 32 innings and 8 starts. He's allowed 30 hits, 9 earned runs, 18 strikeouts to 23 walks. So that is one thing, is when he walks guys, he can get in a little bit of trouble. But when he gets ahead of guys, he has stuff to put guys away, get weak contact, and he's a guy who will need to fill up the strike zone to build some confidence early so he can try to go through the order a couple times before he turns it off to the bullpen.
Well, interesting that Brateris is another left-handed pitcher. The Knights, you would think, would prefer left-handed pitching because every batter they sent to the plate in Game 1 was a right-handed hitter. So just the traditional line of thinking is that they would, feast on lefties. Certainly didn't have that good fortune in Game 1 with only 1 hit against Smeds. But, hey, the Cardinals and Coach Greer, those are the guys that are going to be their primary starters, it looks like, at least in the first 2 games of any playoff series. So that's what they're going to go with.
And here are the engine 4 for the Cardinals. Top 4 guys we highlight: the leadoff man, the second hitter, the third hitter, and also the 5th hitter in the order: Jake Parkerson, Braylen James, Grady Emerson, and Griffin Carney. For the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals, all in all, in that first game, it's probably a guy not on that list who we highlight, Jackson Castleberry, who had 3 hits, but there were plenty of hits to go around for the Cardinals, who had 10 of them in Game 1.
Yeah, Parkerson was on that list, and of course he hit one of the 2 home runs in the game. And you mentioned he's been hot, 3 home runs in his last 4 games. So certainly heating up at the right time here as they enter the postseason.
Absolutely. So there's a look at who's hot as well entering tonight's action. Again, the Cardinals took it in Game 1, a 10-run victory, improving to 36-1 on the season, 11-1 the final score after 6 innings.
You mentioned if they had gone to the pen in Game 1, Andujar would likely be that first guy out of the pen, and we see why right there. 6 innings pitched in their last 6 games, no earned runs allowed, and 7 Ks with only 3 hits allowed. So Yeah, he's been excellent. It looks like out of the pen.
Oh, yes.
For them over the last 6 games.
24 strikeouts and just 5 walks on the year for Andujar, and only 4 runs allowed the entire season in just about 20 innings of action. We'll step aside. Cardinal baseball pregame continues next.
To give this life all you have.
Fort Worth Christian School is Christ-centered, college preparatory school where every student is known, loved, and valued. At FWC, students are challenged to pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in their faith, all while being equipped with a strong biblical worldview. From standout academics and championship athletics to award-winning fine arts and a vibrant student community, Fort Worth Christian is preparing tomorrow's leaders today. We invite you to discover the difference for your family. Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining the game with us today. We hope you are enjoying this presentation of Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We have a target of 20,000 channel subscribers before the end of this spring. We need your help to reach that goal. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and pick a friend or family member to whom you can share the game. We are happy you are watching and hope you consider becoming a member for access to different member-only content.
Welcome back to Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. Coach, playoff baseball is here. What's the message to your group today as you get ready for this series?
I think the overwhelming message is that if you remove the word playoff, it's another game. And a lot of times as players, we allow the situation to control our emotions and control what we do on the field. And I had a manager who used to say, it's okay to be nervous, but it's not okay to panic. And a lot of times when our emotions get involved, we do things that we shouldn't. So I think the big message is this is game number 37. We go out and play this game just like we have the other 36, businesslike, and control your emotions, control your thoughts. And if they do that, I think we've seen over the course of time that we're a pretty good team.
Absolutely. And you've mentioned that when you were answering that question, and I had figured that was the direction you were going to take it. And I know throughout the season when we've talked, you've talked about a team-first mindset, a business-like mindset. And so is the focus doing that all year long, that you don't have to change anything when you get to the postseason?
I think that's the big thing. When you that's kind of been the mantra from day one. You hope that when it comes down to these games, because if you think about it, yes, a playoff game and you have to win the series, that's a pathway to the ultimate goal, which is a state championship. But it's got to start somewhere. And I think that the team's identity, and I believe we talked about this before, is a very business-like identity, and that's come from the bottom up, which is through the players. And I think if all of a sudden we come out and we have changed our approach, what we're doing, then that says the moment's gotten bigger than what we want it to be. And ultimately, this moment, while it does propel us forward into the next round or the state playoffs, whatever you want to say, this moment is about game 1 at 4 o'clock. That's the most important game of the year. Then game 2 at 7 o'clock, that's the most important game of the year. And I ask those players all the time, this is the most important game you'll ever play. Why? And they'll say, because it's the only game today. It's the only game today. Or the only game right now. And I think that's been kind of been what we've been saying all year long, and hopefully they take that mindset and that into the games today and go be businesslike.
When you are preparing for the game, what can you tell us about your opponent today?
Well, in game 1, I think we'll see their number 1 starter, which is a kid's last name is Middlebrook. He's a freshman, which that doesn't say anything. We have to go out and have some good at-bats, put good at-bats together and string some hits together. If we can do that, and we can get into the bullpen, then as with any game, once you get into the bullpen, it's kind of it's one of those deals where if those guys in the pen come out and they're throwing strikes and we're down, we're going to be in trouble. But if we come out and we put some good at-bats together early and get a lead and get into the bullpen, now we've got a better chance.
What has the preparation looked like as well? Because you had the game on the 24th and then off just this past week, now playing on Monday. After you guys fall in that regular season finale, was there anything you guys focused on leading into a quote-unquote new season with the postseason?
Well, not really. We've been in maintenance mode now for quite some time, and really we're at the point, especially when you're at the playoff baseball, that for me, anyways, it's about just keeping the blood flowing and keeping everything kind of on the track. And we did a good job of that this past week, guys. We had some good practices. Swung the bats well MVP. We really worked on some individual defense. Just to shore that up. As we go forward, anytime you're playing a game, and it's what's been said since the dawn of time, pitching and defense win. And I feel like we're playing pretty good defense. And if we can limit the number of outs that we give away, then and give our pitchers a chance to make some mistakes here and there, which pitchers are going to do. But taking those outs away are important, and we focused on that a little bit this week. And so it was a good week of practice, good week of blood, getting the blood going, and just staying in the groove and the routine. Now, yes, we're going from Thursday, Friday to Monday, Tuesday, but that actually sets us up nicely for down the road, assuming we get past these guys tonight and tomorrow, because the other playoff round will be on a Monday, Tuesday, and the state tournament's on a Monday, Tuesday. So it actually works good when you're setting up your pitching and your bullpens during the midweek.
All right, ready for baseball. Game 2 of this 3-game set, the best of 3 to open up the playoffs. The Austin School of Regents and the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals. The Knights and Cardinals battling here in the second game. 11-1 win for the Cardinals. In game number 1, game number 2 starting now. Griffin Carney leading things off. Austin Regents, the home team here in game number 2.
Yeah, this Middlebrook on the hill for the Knights, who we thought we'd see in game 1, and we see why he has those strikeout numbers. Definitely has good velocity. He's got 54 Ks and 33 innings of work, so well over a strikeout and a half per inning.
Carney, ground ball to short. And it is on to first in time. So Middlebrook gets the out. You mentioned the freshman Middlebrook, 33 and a third pitch this year, 24 hits allowed. He's got a 1.17 whip, a 3.15 ERA, and 54 strikeouts to just 10 walks. So he has been really good, and he had 6 innings last time out, just 1 earned and 11 punch-outs in their most recent game. And gets the ground out. Carney retired to begin this ball game, and it's a strike here to Grady Emerson.
Go Deuce.
Yeah, I noticed that's Mott out there at shortstop, so he was their second pitcher in game 1, and him and Middlebrook flip spots. Middlebrook takes the mound here in game 2.
Emerson taking a couple of strikes. So it's Gamble, Cardwell, and Robb left to right of the outfield. Molachek at third, Mott at short, Spicer at second, and Contanine at first. Prater behind the plate. Middleton doing the pitching. Emerson watching for a ball, to 1-2 count. Grady going 1 for 1 with a double last game. And a ground ball to first. It's handled. So Contanine, who was playing in right in game 1, fields the ground ball, 2 outs.
The center fielder, number 17, Braylen James.
All good, G.
Yeah, the Knights have made several defensive changes. Now behind the plate is Hunter Prater. And I believe he played center field in game 1. actually finished the game on the mound. No, he was at second base, that's right. So he goes from second base to behind the plate. And Spicer caught game 1.
And he's now at second.
Okay. So, yeah, they makes sense. A lot to ask a catcher to go back there for a doubleheader.
So it's Braylen James now. So we're just underway here in Game 2. Right at 7 o'clock this evening from Cat Corton Field. Glad you're with us. Cardinals with a win would advance to the next round of the postseason, to the regional round, which would be at a neutral site. Chopped right in front of the pitcher. Middlebrook lets it fall, throws it to first, and it goes beyond the reach of Constantine. And Braylen James reaches with 2 outs.
Tough play to ask Middlebrook to make that play. Honestly, that's a play the catcher's got to make, and he's going to have the momentum going to first base. So when the catcher didn't make that play, it was just going to be an infield hit all the way. You mentioned James' stolen base numbers earlier in game 1, and Coach Greer ran through some signs there. Won't be surprised if he runs. Nope.
He'll go there, though, as it goes to the backstop. So Braylen James moves into scoring position. Jeff, you weren't surprised if he would run, and, well, when it goes to the backstop, pretty easy 90 feet taken there by James for Castleberry at the plate.
Well, I noticed Coach Greer also had his stopwatch out. He's checking the time that the pitcher takes to get the ball to the plate. That's probably got something to do with how much they've run on him.
Castleberry ground ball to short. Mott boots it. That allows Braylen James to come home and score. And Jackson Castleberry, a ground ball produced the Cardinals' first run in game 1 from Jackson. Same story here in game number 2.
Yeah, definitely a play that Mott should have made, but James actually kind of shielded him from the ball. It didn't get in his way, nothing illegal about it, but just for a second, because James is going to third base, Mott lost sight of that ball and just escaped him.
So an E6 allows Jackson Castleberry to reach Jake Parkerson. 3 bombs in his last 4 games, and he takes 4 strikes. So the Cardinals getting some early run support for Cale Brateris. And another aspect of the Cardinals able to capture a run rule victory, not having to pitch that 7th inning. It did look like Greg Smeds, as the runner is off, and Castleberry takes second with no throw. But, Jeff, it looked like Smeds was going to finish that game one way or another. Didn't have to, right, because of the run rule. But either way, that you only had to use one pitcher in game 1, it expands your options of what you want to do here in game 2.
Yeah, definitely. To get Smeds a complete game right there. We never saw anyone warming up in the pen. So, yeah, if they don't run rule him there, I'm pretty sure Smeds goes out in the 7th to finish what he started. Running again.
And Parkerson.
Get her up. Hey, Jake.
Got a solid swing on it, but it goes foul, an 0-2 count. Castleberry will have to go back to second. Castleberry was running with an 0-2 count now and 2 outs. We'll see if that's still in the works. Truett Middlebrook out on the bump. He delivers. It's upstairs.
Curious what this breaking pitch looked like. That was this breaking pitch right there. Just didn't release that out in front. That's typically the reason when it misses high like that.
Castleberry watching inside. And Castleberry takes third as Parkerson gets out of the way.
But no, they're sending Castleberry back to second, so interference was the call.
Well, typically, if you call interference, it's an out.
Well, what else could it have been is my thought, right?
I have no idea.
Well, Jake.
Unless they're saying no pitch. I mean, that's the only way I can figure you send them back.
Oh, maybe they're saying Parkerson got in the way.
If they do, you call it's an out. If there's interference on the hitter,
right,
it's an automatic out. So
interesting. 2-2.
And nobody seems to question it other than us.
Right.
Coach Greer was fine with the call.
We're out of the know. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cardinals with a 1-0 lead here on the top of the first of Game 2. Middlebrook sees Parkerson pull it down the left field line. We'll do a 2-2 pitch once more.
I noticed that left fielder out there. He doesn't have shades, but he's having to use his glove to shield the sun. The sun is right at our back, so I can see how he would be having trouble with it, at least until it gets behind. It's probably got to have another 20, 30 minutes of sun issues.
Parkerson. Skies hit to left.
He never saw
that
it.
ball flying. Jake Parkerson does it again. 4 bombs in his last 5 games, and the Cardinals on top, 3-0.
I tell you, Will, the left fielder fooled me because I'm watching him thinking he's got the ball. He never saw it. He, as I was saying, he was struggling with the sun, so he fooled me. But that ball got out of here by 20, 30 feet. It was a no-doubter.
Well, here's another look.
Yeah, just a
The
bomb.
first baseman, number 9, Andrew.
See, he was really slow to react. Not that he was going to get to it, but that ball was a no-doubter.
What a run Jake Parkerson is on. 5 bombs on the year now. He's got 4 in his last 5 games and has hit a home run in each of the 2 games here to begin the playoffs today.
You could tell by those balls he fouled off down the left field line. He was just right on everything that Middlebrook brought up there. He was trying curveballs and finally got a fastball that he squared up.
Ridgel to third. It's handled there by Molechek. He crossed the diamond. But Jake Parkerson will touch them all. Cardinals leading 3-0 after a half inning.
right now. You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss.
All right, so a 3-run lead now for the Cardinals after a half inning. We welcome you back to Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. Blake Mott swing and a miss, so Cale Brateris with a strike to begin his outing. Another ball game, another lefty out on the hill for Fort Worth Christian. Cale Brateris.
Much quicker start for the Cardinals here in Game 2 with a 3 spot in the first inning.
Ground ball to Emerson. Gets it there in time.
Well, those scouts saw something they liked there. He had to go to his right and backhand it and throw it across the diamond, and shows off that arm right there. Talked about it before. He just makes everything look so easy, and I really think it is for him, not for most anyone else at this level.
Swing and a miss. Cale Brateris, he got the 6-3 ground out on the breaking ball that Emerson made the play. Backhand, showcasing the gun across the diamond as Matthew Robb steps up. And that's outside. Yeah, the game of baseball, I mean, not many things are easy, right? It's a game of failure. And so if anyone can ever make things look easy, they're pretty special.
Well, just to go back to that article we talked about earlier, that's one thing that Coach Greer taught him was that, hey, hitting's not easy. He apparently, and his dad talked about it in the article, he thought he was supposed to get a hit every time at bat. And Coach Greer said, hey, outs are just part of the game. You know, you're not going to get a hit every time. And honestly, at this right now, he's getting a hit over half the time. But at the major league level, a guy that makes outs 7 out of 10 times makes a lot of money.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, that's one thing that you know, Coach Greer's done for him is that, hey, you've got to take it in stride and know that the hits are going to come. There's going to be a lot of outs in between.
The 2-2 popped up towards center. Braylen James and going to be called off because it's right to left. And there to make the grab for the second out, Jackson Purdue. Braylen James, he's so speedy out there. And every time there's a ball to left or right, you feel like it's to center because he's right there. I mean, he gets some great reads. And, again, that was just a lazy routine fly ball. And Braylen James is a few feet away from his left fielder. He's got some great range. He's made some phenomenal plays so far this year out in center for the Cardinals.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from an outfielder playing for a Rusty Greer coach team because we know he was one of the best defensive outfielders the Rangers have ever had, if not the best left fielder for sure.
And all of them can play the position. I mean, Jackson Castleberry's got a great arm. He's aggressive. Like ground balls to the right side, he'll try to throw guys out at first all the time. And he's done it this year.
Well, I don't know if you were there, Will, but we did see Jaworski Lane throw a guy out from right field last week for Grapevine. Not to touch on a sore subject, but that was one of the highlights of the season. We saw an out made on a ground ball to right field.
Parkerson gets it on to first, but ball out of the leather of Ridgel, and getting back to the bag is Middlebrook. So looked like maybe the ball hit off the starting pitcher for the Knights as he made his way to first, but he'll get aboard safely.
Yeah, that throw just got away from Parkerson right there.
Go, Cale.
Another look. As Ridgel was going to try to get that ball.
Yeah, tough when the throw takes you into the baseline like that.
So Hayes Considine will come up to the plate. Is that what we decided, Jeff? Contanine or
Contanine, that's what we got from the
source.
Visiting fans.
Yes, and they know best.
Says he has some Louisiana roots. That's how you get to that pronunciation.
Well, he fouls first. He sees back. He's part of some of the changes. Started out in right in game 1 at first today. Staying a mess. Brateris, you told me to tell you a little bit about him. One thing is when his breaking ball is working, he loves the big curveball. He can really be effective, and that's why he has a sub-2 ERA on the year, because he can use that breaking ball in big spots. We'll see if he goes to it. He does, and it's a foul ball. It's a big over-the-top breaking ball from the left-hander.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same velocity that Smeds has, but you don't have to have great velocity if you can locate and change speeds. Boy, tough one to lay off right there. Good spot 0-2.
Yeah, the thing with Smeds is, if we talk to him, I'm sure you'd tell us he did not have his best stuff today. But he still goes 6 innings, no earned runs, 1 run overall, 8 punch-outs, and allows 1 hit. And when he does have his best stuff, he's got 3 pitches working: fastball, curveball, changeup. Today, it really didn't feel like he had really great feel for his stuff. He had to work around the walks, but give him credit. And that's what you have to do as a pitcher sometimes. You're not always going to have your best stuff, and you got to go compete, especially when the stakes are high like this in the postseason.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. He never really looked all that comfortable out there, but he just battled through it. That's a base hit.
Emerson gets to it deep in the hole, but it'll go down as a single for Hayes Contanine, who gets aboard first and second now for the Knights here in the bottom of the first as they try to answer the Cardinals' 3-run top of the first inning. Again, Cardinals playing here at home at Cat Gordon Field, but the visiting team today here in game number 2.
Turn off the bat or a little blue, but it don't matter.
Max Molechek now up at the plate with first and second, 2 out, 2 on.
Go, Cale.
Brateris tries to work out of some trouble. Ground ball to Parkerson. He can just step on the bag. He does just that. Side retired. 3-0 lead for the Cardinals after an inning. Welcome back to Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. Jackson Purdue leads us off as we start the second. 3-0 lead for the Cardinals, and the first pitch in for a strike. So Truett Middlebrook out for another inning of work. Cardinals tag him for 3 in the first. 2 coming on a home run from Jake Parkerson, who's left the yard in both games today, and 4 of his last 5, in fact. Up to 5 homers on the year, 3 shy of the team lead, currently held by Emerson, but it's Purdue and then Ward, 2 up, followed by Austin here in the second.
Yeah, Parkerson's gaining quickly on Emerson's home run total.
In for a strike. Emerson's really came in bunches too. For a guy now with 25 extra base hits after a double coming in game 1. And the lone at bat he recorded. He had a big stretch of, I think, about 6 home runs in an 8-game span, something to that effect, earlier during district play.
It's funny how they come in bunches like that. We saw that one he hit in the tournament up in, I think we were in McKinney. Boy, that was a bomb.
Yeah, that. And then he had a couple in a game against Southwest Christian on the road. Hit one in Lubbock.
Good. Let's go, JP.
Purdue trying to get something started here in the second inning. Pop up right side, gets out of play.
Good crowd out here tonight. Not many empty seats, and they got the left field porch out there packed now with looks like students.
Yeah, you get a good shot of the crowd. There's the students you reference. They're excited. They've seen 3 balls go their way from the Cardinals.
Yeah, no one's made a play out there on one yet, though.
Purdue works it full.
That ball Parkerson hit in the first inning might have done some damage to a window out there.
Look alive. Not trying to make insurance claims, are you? I don't know, though. Is that covered, right? They have the warning signs. Beware when you park out there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any exclusion for baseball damage in a auto policy. Now, if you live on a golf course, I'm not sure how that works. I take out your window. They say the golfer's responsible in that situation. I don't think the hitter's responsible if they take out a window in the parking lot.
Definitely not. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Purdue works a walk to begin the inning.
I feel like that wind's picking up. Those flags are ripping out there in right center.
The designated hitter, number 24, Jacob Ward.
So Jacob Ward up after the leadoff walk to Purdue. Middlebrook delivers. Down and inside. Ward had some good ABs. He sparked that walk in game 1 that allowed the Cardinals to generate a run, take the lead. They never surrendered it after that. But it was his walk that was the stretch
of either 4 straight walks or hit by pitches for the Cardinals to take what at the time was a 2-1 lead. That goes to the backstop, and Purdue takes second. A 2-0 count. So Middlebrook walks Purdue, now down 2-0 in the count here to Ward.
Ward?
And Ward also had a sac fly in game 1 when the game was still somewhat in doubt.
Definitely. Just made it a 3-1 score at the time. Three balls, no strikes. The freshman DH, a 325 hitter on the year. And a 3-0 count. He takes for a strike.
Yeah, I think you can even see the wind is now starting to just move the outfield camera slightly.
Saw that a little bit in game 1.
Yeah, I just feel like the wind has picked up a notch. That's well hit. That's a base hit.
So Ward ripped to center. Purdue will be held up at third, but Jacob Ward continues to produce, hitting above 500 with runners in scoring position this season, and the freshman delivers once again.
Yeah, Purdue had to hold up at third right there because he had to make sure that ball cleared the shortstop before he could break, and that's with nobody out, you definitely don't want to get doubled up right there. So first and third, nobody out. Good base running right there by Purdue.
So 325 average for the freshman and 500 plus now with the wrist. Runners, corners, nobody down here for Hank Austin. And watches the first. Called a strike. Austin, home run last game, his first of the season.
Good curveball right there by Middlebrook to get ahead.
Had 2 hits in the ball game. Went 2 for 2 with a walk drawn and a couple of RBIs as well. Runner is off. Austin goes around. It's an 0-2 count. However, Ward will get to second.
Come on.
It's like the Knights have decided to attack Austin with breaking pitches as they throw a fastball.
Misses outside. We mentioned Austin, and his batting average has climbed over the last 2 months after a slow month of the season, about 100 points from the beginning of the season to now. From beginning of March to about the beginning of May, it's gone up about 100 points. So he's produced more as of late. And finding a way to get aboard, it's really important to get on base out of the 9 spot when you have on-base machines to flip that lineup over with Carney and then Emerson waiting behind him.
Yeah, no, you can see he's a lot more confident right now. That was a good cut he had at a high fastball, fouled it back.
It's a good cut here.
Jam, but that's going to be a sac fly.
Deep enough to allow the tag, throw home. Sliding in safely is Purdue. A sac fly RBI for Hank Austin. The Cardinals extend their lead.
Yeah, I remember seeing Austin back in early March, and yeah, he definitely got off to a slow start, so he's done good work to pull those numbers up.
Griffin Carney.
Brings Griffin Carney to the plate. You see Gamble gets it, throws it home, but just Purdue too quick to beat him. And now Carney watches first one out of the zone. Began this ball game grounding out to short. He's 0 for 1. first two outside, and diving in to the plate is Jacob Ward to make it a 5-0 lead. It scoots away from the backstop Prater, and Ward makes him pay for it.
Yeah, that's good anticipation right there by Ward. He really didn't wait to see how far that ball was going to go. When it got away, he took off, and good aggressive base running right there.
A 2-0 count to Carney. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. A 5-0 lead for Fort Worth Christian. Cale Brateris getting some support. Out on the bump after he needed 18 pitches to work through his first inning of action. Carney takes for a strike. Middlebrook about to throw his 45th pitch of the night here in the second inning.
I was just thinking they've made him work. Done a lot of pitches here, only gotten 4 outs so far.
Carney takes for ball 4. That's the second walk that Middlebrook has issued here.
The shortstop, number 2, Grady, Emerson.
And the Cardinals really did make him pay. If you remember in the first inning, the first 2 guys were out, and then it was a single by Braylen James followed by Castleberry. Looked like he grounded into an inning-ending 6-3 ground ball, and air opened up the door for the home run. So those unearned runs tagging Middlebrook in that first inning as Carney is off and Emerson at the plate. So he swipes the bag.
Yeah, no, I forgot. All those runs in the first scored with 2 outs. Emerson had grounded out to first base. I don't remember what Carney did, but I know there was nobody on base when Emerson came to the plate. Yeah, there was 2 outs when James got it going.
Yes, and then Castleberry ground ball to short. It's an error. That's a ground ball through the right side by Emerson. Carney will be waved home, and he scores. Cardinals up 6-0, an RBI base hit for Grady Emerson. So 3 in the first, 3 more in the second. The Cardinals up 6-0, and Braylen James now hits for a second time.
Braylen James.
This inning went walk, single, sac fly, walk, single. So the 1 out was from Austin, but it was a productive one at that, bringing home a run thus far in the frame. Emerson gets to second, standing as the ball goes in and out of the leather of Prater behind the dish, and now James will hit with a runner in scoring position. Mentioned it was just 1 run in each of the first 4 innings in Game 1 before they opened things up in the 5th, then ended the ball game with 5 runs in the 6th.
Yeah, they definitely have it going now.
One count.
I think Coach Schneider might have been on to something going with Mullichek starting Game 1. Just that slower velocity. The Cardinals were struggling to square things up, and the guys that have come in throwing harder are the ones that are barreling up and hitting the bombs and hitting a lot of gappers.
Braylen foul ball.
Still only 1 out right here.
Emerson at second, James at the plate, and he'll call for a time before Middlebrook delivers his 51st pitch of the night. Cardinals ahead 6-0.
Won't be surprised if Emerson takes off again here. Nope.
Well, he doesn't take off, and it's a 2-2 count upcoming. But speaking of taking off, 4 stolen bases already for the Cardinals here in this game. One just a moment ago from Emerson, who stands at second. Off the plate, good eye from James. He's worked at bats all year long.
Yeah, I believe he had 24 base on balls coming into game 1. Yeah, I think that's second on the team only to Emerson.
Emerson is off there. He gets to third. Braylen will trot down to first, reaching on the walk. And for him now, 25 walks. Just now 11 shy of the team lead, but second most on the team. And puts runners on the corners now for Jackson Castleberry, who had a monstrous game 1 as he put together a 3-hit day. And for Jackson Castleberry, that was his first 3-hit game of the season. In game 1, he went 3 for 4 with a triple and 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Probably would have been our player of the game if we would have selected one to be interviewed post-game for us, but opted not to do that with the doubleheader here in postseason action. And he comes up now with runners on the corners and 1 gone. But how about that? Coming off his first 3-hit game of the season.
Yeah, they had some guys pick a great time to break out. You know, Hank Austin was the other one in the mix of the discussion. Had we done a player of the game, and Hank leaves the yard for the first time all season and picked up another hit as well. So 2 guys just having maybe their best game of the year in the first playoff game.
You will pick your time to peak, right? To break out. Isn't that the saying, Jeff? You want to be playing your best ball at the right time. You want to be able to play your best and peak at the right time at the end of the year. And
well, Reggie Jackson was known as Mr. October. I guess in high school baseball, you want to be Mr. May and
Mr.
maybe
May.
Mr. Early June.
It's popped up. Prater, the backstop, goes to make the grab right by the netting. And Castleberry retired for the second out.
A nice play right there. I thought for sure that ball would get into the net, but I think his body got into the net, but he kept it off the net.
He had to be on the hop as well. I mean, it's not we've seen bigger backstops, but that's room to go to get there right in front of the net.
Yeah, good, nice play right there by Prater.
So here's Parkerson, 2-run home run last time up. He's hit home runs in both games today. And now with home runs in 4 of his last 5 games, 5 total on the season for the senior third baseman. So breaking out that power at the right time. We'll see what he can do with 2 on and 2 outs.
James has got an aggressive lead. He's probably running. That's what Middlebrook was thinking too.
Jake in game 1 kind of golfed one out.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad pitch, but Parkerson just went down and get it, and he is running.
Braylen James does take second. Parkerson watched it, and Emerson comes home. Cardinals taking advantage and adding on. They're up 7-0.
Yeah, it was a bit of a gift because it was kind of a half-hearted throw to second base, and quite honestly, I don't think the shortstop or second baseman were actually expecting that throw to come down. Ball gets away, and Emerson aggressively takes the free base.
0-1 count to Parkerson. And he rips it up the middle. Jake Parkerson stays hot. Braylen James comes home, and the Cardinals lead 8-0.
Yeah, heck of a start here for the Cardinals. Just really putting this game away early.
The first baseman, number 9, Andrew Regents.
You said Austin was a fun city, but you said they wouldn't want to make a trip there tomorrow. They're playing like it through a couple innings of action.
No, I think they can call the bus driver and say you have the day off.
Still just the second, though.
Hey, I tend to get ahead of myself sometimes, but when this offense gets rolling, Will, you've seen it, they put up big numbers.
That is true, and Andrew Regents has put up big numbers all year long. He continued to add on to those in Game 1 with a pair of hits. Going 2 for 3 in the game. Hitting .434 on the year. 0 for 1 here in Game 2. 2-0 count here to Regents.
It's a good cut right there.
And one thing I will say as well, would love your thoughts on this, with an 8-0 lead. Feels like knowing that you win and you advance to the next round, the leash probably, one thought is you maybe would have more of a leash for Brateris in a regular season game, but in this case, the arms are fully deployable, everybody, because they didn't use a reliever in Game 1. So I would think that the leash would probably be pretty tight, knowing you just have to wrap this one up to be able to advance. And they've got a full plethora of rested arms now in the pen.
Yeah, and maybe you want to get a guy or two an inning of work. I mean, you don't want to just roll the dice with anybody and everybody, but if you've got guys that haven't pitched in a couple of weeks and you expect to need them in the next series, yeah, maybe you get them out there for an inning just to get them some live game action. But I'm sure, Brateris is going to be asked to do the majority of the work, and this game certainly looks like it could be shortened.
So Regents, he'll take the free base. Runners first and second. So the Cardinals had the 5-run bottom of the 6th inning to conclude Game 1 and win it 11-1. They've scored 5 here in the top of the 2nd inning to go up 8-0 here in Game 2. Jackson Purdue up to the plate. Swing and a miss. Cardinals batting around here in this top of the 2nd inning. It was Purdue who walked to begin this frame. Now he hits for a second time in this inning.
Yeah, it's been a long inning for Middlebrook. Going to be tough to ask him to stay out there much longer.
Oh! That clunks Purdue in the head to load up the bases.
Yeah, he's probably thrown somewhere in the vicinity of 40 pitches in this inning, and while his total pitch count may not seem high at 65, when you throw 40 in one inning, that's just a lot to ask.
Go, Mark.
So that brings Jacob Ward up to the plate. He had a base hit with Purdue at second earlier in the inning. Now he hits with the bases loaded. And the first one in for a strike. Ward hitting above 500 this season. Again, just a freshman with runners in scoring position. He's got him loaded, 0-1 count.
That base hit up the middle in his last at bat. Surprisingly, the shortstop's really not shading him that way. Shortstop is really favoring the third base side more.
0-2 count with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
here for Jacob Ward. Ward goes around on the appeal, and that ends the inning. Not before the Cardinals strike for 5. They're up 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the second.
Hi, my name is Madeline Moda. I'm in 9th grade, and this is my 4th year at Fort Worth Christian. I enjoy so much about FWC, especially the community. You can tell the teachers truly care, and I love how Christ is incorporated into every classroom. I love that at FWC, you can be included in so many aspects of the school and so many new opportunities.
Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Hi, my name is Kendall Bryant. I'm in 8th grade, and this is my 3rd year at Fort Worth Christian. My favorite thing about Fort Worth Christian is how everyone feels like a family, and it's a very close-knit community.
Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Can you feel those bright lights? Everything is yours tonight. It's on tonight. The big time. In the big time. In the big time. Wild, wild, wild in the USA. We're getting wild, wild, wild the American way. Wild, wild, wild in the USA.
Welcome you back to Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio. He's Jeff Knipper. I'm Will Connerly. Happy you're with us here tonight. 8-0 lead for the Cardinals. Jack Gamble at the plate as we start the bottom of the second. Cushion is one way to describe what Cale Brateris now has on the mound after a 5-run top of the second. But it's a ground ball to Parkerson. Gets it to first. I was going to say, Jeff, he looks now for what many consider and dub as a shutdown inning. After your team scores big, you look to immediately shut them down and get you back in the dugout. That's a good start on the ground ball.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out where the Knights were in the lineup, and that was actually the number 6 hitter. So they did actually send 5 guys to the plate in the bottom of the first inning.
They did. First 2 were retired. Then they got a couple aboard. You look at the Knights dugout. They're just trying to chip away. After the big haymaker of a 5-run inning thrown by the Cardinals in the top of the second. How can you respond? You can't get all 8 back in one AB, but they'll try to chip away against Cale Brateris. The ground ball over to Emerson. It gets into first in time. Nifty play by the senior shortstop.
Yeah, give him a chance to make another nice play right there. Throws that one on the run.
The second baseman, number 1, Carlisle Spicer.
Gets him pretty easy right there.
And Jeff Knipper just laughs.
It's just fun to watch that kind of talent.
Carlisle Spicer. Swing and a miss. No, I'm with you, Jeff. I think many people are with you. You pointed out the crowd tonight. So.
Yeah, some of these guys are getting paid to be here, too.
That's right.
I mentioned to you, was in the concession stand line with John Daniels, the former Rangers GM, who's now an executive with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who just happened to have the second pick in the draft this year, which is expected to be the Grady Emerson slot.
Another ground ball. Parkerson takes it, goes to first. And a 1-2-3 shutdown frame for Cale Brateris. We're off to the third.
Number 1, Hank Austin.
Welcome you back to Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. It's Hank Austin leading us off as we start the third. Fouls one back. Jeff Knipper, Will Connerly. Jeff, you were mentioning as you're getting a burger or whatever in between games, you ran into some, as we were talking about, scouts and executives at the higher level in attendance tonight, as we've seen all year long.
Well, not just a scout there, front office guy right there with Tampa Bay.
Austin pops out.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get a hamburger, Will. They ran out of hamburgers, so I had to
what'd
settle
you get?
for a hot dog. John Daniels was a couple spots ahead of me and got one of the last hamburgers. I got a hot dog. They weren't prepared for this big crowd tonight.
No, it's a big one.
It was either bigger than anticipated or a hungrier crowd than they anticipated, because
could be both.
Not enough burgers.
Definitely a solid crowd. One of the better ones we've had. Carney pulls a foul. So yeah, seeing executives, front office members also in attendance of the Rays who have that second pick. Seeing Grady perhaps could go at that slot. 0-1 count here with one out.
It's a ground ball, and it's booted. Carney will get aboard.
Let's go, G.
Yeah, he charged it and just wasn't able to get it on the short hop. That's how you need to try and make that play, but just wasn't able to come up with it.
Well, here is Grady. Runner at first, 1 out. 8-0 score. Middlebrook has been hurt by his defense a couple times. Ground balls get through and allow base runners reaching on errors. We'll see if Carney's in motion.
I think they'll put the brakes on right here. It's just with an 8-0 score, I don't think Carney doesn't have the look of a guy who's looking to run right here. It's just kind of common courtesy in a spot like this, but I don't know. We'll see. He is running.
Grady is hitting. Carney on the move. Grady rounding first. Griffin coming home, and the Cardinals take a 9-0 lead.
Well, Carney deked me because he had his hands on his knees, and I thought for sure he was going to stay put, but worked out perfect because that second baseman looked like he was going to the bag, and Grady hit it the spot he vacated and turned what really looked like a single into a double easy.
So 9-0 the Cardinals lead. Braylen James coming up to the plate. 9 runs on 7 hits for Fort Worth Christian. A visit to the Hill. Middlebrook has worked 2 1/3 so far.
Here's
7
a replay
hits.
right here. Yeah, that second baseman was going to the bag and just vacated where that ball was hit.
Allowing Carney to come home, who is off with the pitch. First to third, or first to home on a ground ball single. That I guess will go down as a double for Grady Emerson.
Yeah, and real quick while we've got a pitching change here, just want to mention if anyone has any questions about the broadcast or graphic services, reach out to Tradio.com. That's TR3DIO.com, or send an email to Tradio@Tradio.com. Again, that's TR3DIO@TR3DIO.com. And love to help you out in that area. The Fort Worth Christian Cardinal Baseball Live, you're getting a good sample of the production that Tradio puts together. And if your school or team is interested in something similar, reach out and let us talk to you.
Indeed. 9-0 score. Cardinals leading here in the top of the third. After Grady has the hit, allows Carney to come home. New arm is Jack Gamble, who is warming up after Middlebrook. All in all, bringing up his line, it's 2 1/3. The final total's not all in the books just yet, but 7 hits, 9 runs, 6 earned, 4 walks, 1 K. He is responsible for Emerson, who is at second base. Cardinals all in all, though, 7 hits so far in this game, and they've got 2 Cardinals now with multi-hit days, Jake Parkerson and Grady Emerson, each with 2 hits. As Braylen James digs in. He's got a hit and a walk so far and a couple trips to the plate. A stolen base as well for the senior center fielder.
We talked about how this series, at least offensively, it looked like the Knights were somewhat comparable to the Cardinals, but on the mound, that was where we felt the difference would be, and it's certainly playing out like that. And Coach Greer mentioned, if they get into the pen, I think they really felt like they could do a lot of damage, and that's what they've been able to do here in Game 1 and now here early in Game 2.
First pitch gets away, allows Grady to take third. So you thought they weren't going to be running. They run, it produces a run.
Yeah, I shouldn't have gone there. It is only the third inning, and you never know how many runs you need.
pop-up. And it's out of play. Good dugout shot. You see Ben Rodriguez, guy who's been utilized more times than anybody out of the pen. A part of the crew, that change in the hair here for the playoffs.
Yeah, I believe that was Smeds next to him.
Braylen pulls this. It's down. Base hit for James. Grady comes home, booted out in right, and Braylen will take an extra bag.
Well, James is having a big day, too.
He's been aboard 3 times here in Game 2, and it brings Jackson Castleberry to the plate.
The right fielder, number 11, Jackson.
He hit a ball to right field early in Game 1 that I think normally would have been out of here, or worst case off the fence, but the wind knocked that down and made it playable for the right fielder. Yeah, we heard from the Knights fans. They've now got a freshman on the hill. He does look young.
That allows James to take third as it goes to the backstop. 2-0 count here with 1 out. Yeah, one of the fans said, come on, he's a freshman. Well, that's what we understand Middlebrook was as well. The starter 3-hole, one of the top hitters on the team, as well as top pitcher, who worked 2 1/3 tonight.
Yeah, the difference being Middlebrook really doesn't look like a freshman. Middlebrook's probably 6 inches taller than the current pitcher. You gave us his name. Who's on the hill now?
It's Gamble.
Gamble. Okay, he was out in the field.
Yeah, Jack Gamble.
Came in from left field, I believe.
He did indeed. Gamble.
Yeah.
He started the game out in the left, but some switching around as well. So Gamble on the mound. You got Middleton who went over to short, Mott at third, Prater at second, Considine at first with Molachek now in left, Cardwell in center, Robin right, Spicer behind the plate.
Here's Parkerson looking for his potentially 3rd home run of the day.
And the first off the plate. Yeah, when we were looking at their numbers, pitching-wise, didn't have anything on Gamble, and at least correct us if we're wrong, fans watching. How we got the numbers is we went through Game Changer of every single game they've played and totaled up the box scores, and could have missed something, but didn't see Gamble on there recording any pitching statistics here this season.
Well, I think those numbers are accurate because Gamble just kind of had the look of he was a little surprised, I think, to be on the hill. But, you know, this is maybe an opportunity where you give a guy a chance to pitch, and maybe next year he is going to be one of your regular pitchers.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, runners on the corners. You always say that, you know, typically when you have stats, you could say it with a high degree of confidence, right? First time out there, and that's what we believe is the case, but we'll be honest, sometimes in high school, we know Fort Worth Christian, we get those stats from the team, thankful for that, but sometimes with opponents, it can be more difficult. There's not one hub of statistics compiled for every single team, and so we do our best to get the numbers, and that is, I could say, from at least what we have, first time out there this year. But it feels weird to say, right, in a playoff game.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's Andrew Ridgel at the plate. The bases are loaded. James at third, Castleberry at second, Parkerson at first. One count with 1 out. Cardinals ahead 10-0.
Yeah, I actually thought they might bring the the second pitcher in game 1 back, but Mott, he only threw about an inning in game 1, so I really thought they might bring him back in game 2. He's done a lot of pitching for them this year. He had 29 innings coming into the series.
And again, we only had 114 total innings pitched on the year. So like Middlebrook, Mott, and Molechek were really the main component. And then Prater, who we saw in game 1, had gobbled up pretty much all their innings across 4 different guys. 2-2 count. Full now. So Rigel up to the plate. Cardinals 8 hits. They've drawn 6 walks though. And Rigel pop up foul ground. And there's the second out.
Yeah, Constantine stayed with that one and got it over
the left
close
fielder,
to the
number 25,
net.
Jackson Purdue.
That'll bring Jackson Purdue to the plate. Assuming the Cardinals do advance, it would be next week. They would move on to the regional round, playing the winner of the Brook Hill School or Southwest Christian, a familiar district opponent who the Cardinals split with in the regular season. Those two playing their game upcoming tomorrow.
Yeah, just looking back at that Southwest Christian series, they lost game 2, 8-4, and a lot of that damage was done in the first inning. It looks like Salas pitched that game and had trouble with the strike zone. They gave up 6 earned runs in that first inning, but they won the Thursday night game 5-2. And I'm going to guess Smeds pitched that game.
He did indeed.
Smeds pitched that game. So either way you look at it, should be a good series.
Purdue hits this toward left field, and tracking it down is Molechek to retire the side. Not before the Cardinals add 2 more on. They lead 10-0. They leave them loaded. We move along. Bottom of the 3rd coming up next. We welcome you back to Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. Cale Brateris out there pitching for the Cardinals with a 10-0 lead. Hunter Prater at the plate. 1-0 count as we begin
The bottom of the third inning.
The second baseman, number 2, Hunter Brady.
I believe I saw Brateris is also a senior. So they're going to have a lot of turnover on the roster after this season.
They are, but they are not wanting us to talk about the end of the year just yet.
Oh,
they
no.
got their eyeballs moving on to the regional round of the postseason.
Yeah, no, they should be thinking their season's far from over.
Ground ball back to Brateris. It's on to first.
The shortstop, number 3, Blake Mott.
Back to the top of the order. Here's Blake Mott. And in for a strike.
You know, ever since the Cardinals put Brateris on this lead, he's done a great job just going right at the Knights. Has not walked anyone. And I feel like hasn't gone to a full count more than once.
He's just surrendered one hit so far. Wisconsin who got aboard. On what was a good, clean knock, infield knock, deep in the hole.
Yeah, it was kind of a looper over the third baseman. Emerson got to it, but it was really out in short left where he got to it. No chance to make a play.
Two-one count with one out. Mott. Pop up. Emerson calls everybody off. Grabs it for the second out.
The right fielder, number 7,
Matthew Robb now digs in, 2 outs. Swings and misses. So I would assume we're doing a post-game show, right? After this game.
When you say post-game, you mean player of the game?
Player of the game, that's what I mean.
I would think we would do that. Yeah, certainly. Just I didn't think it was appropriate to do it between games.
And that's why we didn't.
Yeah.
Because you didn't think it was appropriate.
Takes the
if
focus.
you would have thought it was appropriate,
I feel like if I'm over there in the Cardinal dugout, hey, we got another game to play. We don't need to be doing interviews.
Ground ball toward Jake Parkerson. It gets it on to first. Cardinals rolling. 10-0 there on top. Looking to advance here in the playoffs.
Coleman, 11th grade. This is my first year at Forest Christian. I think that I really like about Forest Christian is just the community aspect of it. Once I got here, I feel like everybody just kind of like brought me in and was super kind. And I never really been in like an environment to where like everybody's just nice like that. Like it doesn't really feel like school for me. It feels like a community. Like I'm actually going there having fun and learning.
Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
My name is Brooks Hill, and I've been at Fort Worth Christian for 3 years now. My favorite thing is probably getting the opportunity to represent Christ in everything that we do here, whether that's band or athletics or just in the classroom.
Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Well, like we thought we might, we're going to get another look at Blake Mott here in Game 2. He did pitch about an inning of work. That's well hit.
Good catch made out and left. Well, he got a good look at it. So did Jacob Ward. Well hit ball, like you said, but he flies out to left.
And I believe that's the starting pitcher in Game 1. Now out in left field.
Hank Austin.
Mullichek.
It is Mullichek in left, Cardwell in center, Rob in right. Gamble now at third, and Middleton is at short with Prater at second. Constantine at first, and Mott, second time now, facing the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals as he pitched in Game 1 of this playoff doubleheader. And now faces Hank Austin. But you mentioned we get a good look at him. Hank Austin pops it up, right side, and it's caught for the second out. Mott went 1 inning, allowed 4 hits.
The second baseman, number 27.
And 4 runs in relief in Game 1. But retires the first 2. And back to the top of the order here for Griffin Carney.
Yeah, we mentioned Mott was their second leading inning eater coming into the game behind Middlebrook. So almost surprised that we didn't see him as a starter.
Carney pops it up. Caught at short. Speedy inning from Mott. 10-0 score. We move along here from Cat Corton Field. Truett Middlebrook leading us off as we start the bottom of the fourth. It's been an efficient game for Cale Brateris, who gets ahead of Middlebrook. And a 10-0 score. Cardinals searching to advance to the regional round of the TAPPS playoffs. Winning Game 1, so if they can hang on here in Game 2, they would advance to the regional round next week to either play Southwest Christian or the Brook Hill School. Those two playing tomorrow. So Fort Worth Christian certainly We'll have an eye on that ball game down in Bullard. But it's Middlebrook, the starting pitcher in this ball game. He's batting here to begin the bottom of the fourth. He's had such an incredible season, hitting well above 500 this year. And he skies it. Jackson Castleberry is there, and there's one out.
Yeah, when you looked at the Knights' numbers, no question, Middlebrook has been their best pitcher and best hitter for the season. And he's only a freshman, so a lot of good days ahead for him at the high school level.
So the Cardinals win 11-1 in game one, up 10-0 here in the second of the doubleheader. Again, a best of three game set. And so if the Cardinals take this one, then that would eliminate the if necessary game, which would be tomorrow in Austin, should the Knights win this game too. However, the Cardinals with a pretty comfortable 10-0 advantage right now, and Brateris continuing to deal. He's been efficient and effective, under 50 pitches, and working here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And no 2-pitch. She kicks and deals. Sky left side. Jackson Purdue is under it. He calls off Grady and makes the grab, so a couple flyouts to begin the inning.
Yeah, you mentioned how efficient Brateris has been. Here we are, 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning, and he's only thrown 45 pitches, so, averaging about 12 pitches an inning. Big reason that there's absolutely no activity down there in the pen. There is a bit of a crowd down there, but nobody throwing. No reason to, unless you just want to get some work in between starts.
But you might need to, right? Get some work in.
Again, yeah, it's been a couple weeks since the Cardinals have seen any action.
Swing and a miss. Max Molachek down in the count. A ball and 2 strikes.
So, yeah, really about 11 days to be exact. They had last played on Friday the 24th against Grapevine Faith.
And they had some guys working that game. Andujar Rodriguez got in. Brateris started that game. But you're right. I mean, some of the guys looking to get some work, and it is an interesting thing. The rest versus rust argument always in the playoffs, but it's a 1-2 pitch and 3 flyouts for Cale Brateris. He has worked 4 fantastic shutout frames, and he's done it in quick fashion. We're off to the 5th, 10-0.
They call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights.
Grady Emerson leads us off. And first one upstairs.
Interesting pitch right there. That was almost an Ephus pitch. And even Mott kind of laughed at it.
Emerson 2 for 3. And he hits it right at the shortstop. And Middlebrook makes the grab.
That was a seed, but that's what happens sometimes, the atom ball. Probably, he did hit one off the left field wall earlier, but that was as hard as any ball he's hit tonight.
That'll bring Braylen James up. He's 2 for 2 with a double walk, a couple stolen bases, and an RBI as well. And another pitch. Jeff, how do you describe that one?
That's the same Ephus pitch that he started Emerson's at bat with.
10 runs on 8 hits for the Cardinals in this game. They've benefited from 6 walks as well. First 2 upstairs to Braylen James. Cardinals have done a lot well in this game. Yes, 8 hits. Yes, 6 walks drawn, but also a hit by pitch. And they've done some sacrificing. Hank Gloston with a sac fly. They've had sac flies in both games today. Just finding a way to get runs across, double digit in both of the games, and also running the base pass. 7 stolen bases here in this game today, in game 2 alone.
Wow.
Braylen James hits it hard, but it's foul.
Yeah, he's been pounding that right fielder out there. We know Mott does do a good bit of pitching for the Knights, but I find it interesting, Will, when you see these lopsided games in the major leagues and they bring in a position player to pitch, no longer does the position player actually try and throw with velocity. It seems to be bring in the guy that can throw as slow a pitch as possible. It almost looks like softball.
The right fielder, number 11, Jackson Castleberry.
You know, a lot of the times, big leaguers, I mean, they'll run into them, but they'll get themselves out by doing that, right? It's a 13-0 game. You're bringing someone in. I'm not talking about this game, but
yeah,
a major league game you're referencing, it's way out of hand, and they bring a guy in, and he's throwing 60 miles an hour, and you're standing back and
yeah, they're not used to seeing it. So one thing, it does look a lot different than what they're used to seeing. And then I think sometimes it's the pressure of, oh man, I can't let a position guy strike me out.
Exactly.
And it happens sometimes.
He's not even a pitcher. You're going to let him get me out? Yeah, that's the pressure.
I still remember Mitch Moreland when he played for the Rangers. He was a pitcher at Mississippi State, and there was actually talk about whether or not he was drafted as a pitcher or hitter because he could touch 92, 93, and I always wanted to see him pitch in that spot, but the Rangers never used him as a mop-up guy like that. But I mean, he was a guy that legitimately could have done a little pitching at the major league level if they put some time into it, because he was a stud on the mound at Mississippi State. Obviously, he did very well as a hitter.
A lot of times you see the guy be a great pitcher and a great hitter. He's a great athlete. He can do it all, right?
The third baseman,
Ohtani is the only guy that I've seen do that at the major league level.
At that level.
But yeah, you still do see it a lot at the high school level, occasionally at the college level. The last guy I actually remember, other than Ohtani, to pitch and hit in the major leagues was a guy from UT, Brooks Kieschnick. He way ahead of your time. You're not probably old enough to remember him, but he was a guy that played for the Brewers, and they would use him as a relief pitcher as well as a pinch hitter and occasional outfielder. He was a guy that could do both, not like Ohtani, but good enough to do it at the major league level, and did it for a number of years.
Babe Ruth?
Well, he was before my time.
Right.
I'm talking about guys I actually saw play.
Well, it is interesting, and that's why a lot of people describe Ohtani as a unicorn, right? Because he's just one of one, whatever. But I guess if I backtrack, as Parkerson watches for a strike,
a lot of the times at the high school level, your best athlete is what? Your shortstop, and that guy also is a really good pitcher. That's the case, at least for the Knights. You look at Middlebrook, he's one of their top arms, top bats. And, I mean, for example, for with Christian, you're not telling me if you put Grady on the mound, he would have success. You know, he has got such a great arm. So Parkerson, he continues his big-time day. Already a couple of home runs. He adds in a couple of more RBIs as well, and it's a 12-0 Cardinal lead.
Well, Will, I think that wraps it up. I think he was already the leading candidate, but Parkerson's, I think, player of the game.
Yes.
And this should be the last
player
inning.
of the day, right?
Yeah, he had a good game one as well. But
the first baseman, number 9,
3 for 3 now. 3
Regents.
for 3 with another, I believe, 5 RBIs on the night.
Hey, come on!
Well, that wraps it up. I guess we teased it earlier if we were going to have it or not. Ground ball. Scoop at first. Ridge will retire. Parkerson advances. 2 outs.
The left fielder, number 25, Jackson Purdue.
Parkerson getting pretty comfortable with us at Tradio. I think this will be the 3rd straight game. He's been our player of the game. And again, we do that after Fort Worth Christian games at home in which they win. So he's started to play well really down the back half. I mean, he's been well all year, right? I mean, he's way above 400.
Oh.
But I guess it's just the power has exploded a little bit more for him with 4 bombs in his last 5 games.
Yeah, we talked about his numbers on the season, but just when we looked at over the last 6 games, he was at the top of the list of who's hot. But, yeah, you don't hit 430 on the season unless you've had a good year all year. And,
so
1141 OPS, which is now going to be higher after a couple of home runs today.
Yes, so it feels unfair to be like, oh, he's getting it going. It's like, no, he's been going the whole year. He's taking it up a notch even more now.
Yeah.
3 for 3 with 5 ribbies today for Parkerson. That's a ground ball. Scoop again, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. 12-0 Cardinals lead.
Okay, Brateris is down here again in the bottom of the 5th inning to finish what he started. Cardinals have a 12-0 lead, so as long as they limit the Knights to 2 runs or less right here, this game should end here in the 5th inning.
Most definitely. Cale trying to finish it.
He is, and we have a pinch hitter for the Knights. JoJo Risher, I believe, is a pinch hitter. You know, I'll give the Knights credit. It was going to be an uphill battle for them any way you look at it. Just this Cardinals team is really strong, and they've stayed positive pretty much all day. Never got down on the team. The fans have stayed into the game, and the players are still out there competing, and still look like, you know, they're in the game. They haven't hung their heads at any point. So great sportsmanship by the Knights, and it's obvious they have a lot of underclassmen in their lineup. So better days ahead for them, and good experience here in this playoff series.
And they get a base runner aboard, and the pinch hitter Risher.
For Regents, number 11, Caldwell Spicer.
Now Spicer coming up. Runner getting aboard. So the Knights need some runs if they want to extend this ball game.
And I suspect this is the younger brother of the other Spicer who caught the first game, is playing second base. As I was saying, you can hear the fans still into the game, and that's good to hear. I mean, those boys are still competing, and it's a learning experience at this point.
No doubt.
Real quick again, if you like what you see here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio, and you're interested in the graphics or broadcast services, reach out to tradio.com. That's tr3dio.com.
Or tr3dio at Gmail. Grady turn two, Grady gets it done.
Yeah, the first double play we've seen him turn in the middle today, and had a couple games where we saw multiple double plays turned. That's a pretty tailor-made double play right there. So yeah, the Cardinals now 1 out from closing out this series.
Looking to move on to the regional round of the postseason, which would be next week. Opponent to be determined. Carlisle Spicer now at the plate. Takes the first for a ball. Seeing Grady handle the glove extremely well, and that's his social media handle, Turn to Grady. And he turns to himself there.
He's
old foul.
Very adept at turning two, so that's appropriate.
Cardinals 1 out away from advancing here in the TAPPS playoffs. And a strike in there from Cale Brateris. Trying to go to the distance, and Greg Smeds threw a one-hitter in game one. Cale Brateris trying to match him as he's just surrendered one hit. And so you could have both your starters throw one-hitters to open up the playoffs.
Yeah, hard to lose in that spot, especially when Brateris has also only issued one walk.
Ground ball to Emerson. This should do it. On to first. It's in time. A complete game shutout for Cale Brateris, and the Cardinals are moving on. They sweep the Knights 11-1 in Game 1, 12-0 here in Game 2. So we'll hear from Jake Parkerson, our player of the game, coming up on the postgame show here on Tradio.
Fort Worth Christian School is Christ-centered, college preparatory school where every student is known, loved, and valued. At FWC, students are challenged to pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in their faith, all while being equipped with a strong biblical worldview. From standout academics and championship athletics to award-winning fine arts and a vibrant student community, Fort Worth Christian is preparing tomorrow's leaders today. We invite you to discover the difference for your family. Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining the game with us today. We hope you are enjoying this presentation of Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We have a target of 20,000 channel subscribers before the end of the spring. We need your help to reach that goal. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and pick a friend or family member to whom you can share the game. We are happy you are watching and hope you consider becoming a member for access to different member-only content.
Jake, thanks for joining us. The Cardinals sweep today. You move on in the playoffs, and you have a great day as well. You go 4 of 7, a couple home runs in the 2 games combined. Tell us what was working.
Well, obviously, sticking with my routine, hitting in the cage at home, my dad really helps out. I think everybody on this team is capable of hitting home runs, and I was fortunate enough to have 2 of them lead the yard tonight, so I was real proud of that.
You've hit now 4 in the last 5 games. What are you doing with your dad in the cage? Anything changing?
Not really. Maybe I'm just kind of getting into my body more. I was real stiff at the start of the season, and now I'm kind of getting more limber with my body, getting down that back knee, kind of getting that launch angle, so that definitely helps out a lot.
So last Friday, you guys are no hit, and you come out today and you scored double-digit runs in both games. What does a response like that to open up the playoffs say about this Cardinals offense?
It shows a lot of adversity. We really struggled against that pitcher the other night. He got the best of us, but I think this team as a whole is a really good unit. I think we can definitely do a lot of damage this playoffs.
What will you have to keep doing next week to continue this role?
Obviously, keep swinging the bats, but, man, our pitching was lights out tonight, 2 complete games by Greg and Cale. I think that was amazing. So definitely pitching, keeping the runs down, it definitely helped us win games.
Well, great work today, Jake. Thanks for joining us once again. Our player of the game, Jake Parkerson. Cardinals moving on to the playoffs. Thanks so much for joining us on Tradio.
We only play to win. That's on everything. We climbing to the top. Turn it up a notch. This is our house. We get that W.